Hello friends. Faith. When we hear the word faith, then in our heart and mind, the first image comes is our religion or the image of our God. But there are some people for whom the word faith means their motherland and their nation. Some examples of faith are seen not only in India but also in the other countries of the world. For example, Bodhidharma, Kateri Tekakita, and Dalai Lama. And today we will introduce you to the life of Dalai Lama. So let's talk about Tibet. Now, if we are talking about Tibet and don't speak about Buddhism, it is not possible. Dalai Lama has a special respect in Buddhism. And in Tibetan Buddhism, after the master's passing, the new guru is not from the lineage. Rather, it is elected on the basis of rebirth. Following this tradition, exactly 9 months after the death of the cleric, the search for the new Dalai Lama is done. When the 13th Dalai Lama died in the year 1933, a search party searches for its 14th Dalai Lama based on the last signs of the army cleric. While searching for the 14th Dalai Lama, the search party reaches a farmer's house near the Kubumbh Monastery in the eastern part of Amdo province, where a child was born, who was just born after the few months of the death of Dharmguru. It is said that this 2-year-old boy, Tenzin Gyatso, was able to recognize the disciples of 13th Dalai Lama. Not only this, he was able to recognize his garland, his stick, and other things easily as if they were his own things, as if they all belonged to him. And so, this little kid, Tenzin Gyatso, by the time he was 4 years, he became the 14th Dalai Lama of Tibet by exceeding all the criteria that were required. Tenzin's teaching begins in Buddhism monastery. His study syllabus was based on Nalanda tradition. Tenzin's education gives attention to all the elements of life. Although the small Tenzin used to love playing with the machines, whatever new things Tenzin got, he used to fix it by opening it. And out of these, he was very fond of repairing clocks. It is said that the people of Lhasa, in order to get their watch fixed by the Dalai Lama, used to leave their watches secretly in the monastery. After completing his education, when Tenzin was almost 23, his test was taken by the people. A team of 45 scholars had a debate with Dalai Lama, and Dalai Lama Tenzin passed his test with very good marks. On this day, his formal education was completed. As time passed, Tenzin finished his medical studies. When Tenzin was just 15 years old, that time Mao's new communist government entered Tibet. Dealing with a powerful country like China was not in the hands of a small country like Tibet. But still, Tibet, in the guidance from Dalai Lama, was trying to fight the Chinese. In the year 1959, when Tibet was trying to get rid of China, a revolution was going on. But this revolution was crushed by the Chinese government. And in all this, thousands of Tibetans lost their lives. Before the Chinese government could reach the 14th Dalai Lama, some of the Dalai Lama's companions thought it was better to take Dalai Lama to India so that he could be safe. It was not very difficult to understand the intentions of Chinese government. Every single child of Tibet understood this, that the life of the Dalai Lama was in danger. That night, Dalai Lama, along with his companions from Lhasa, the capital of Tibet, went on foot from there. Dalai Lama and his companions had to cross the unknown valleys of Himalayas and also the foaming rivers of the Brahmaputra. And even more difficult was to cross the gun of Red Army soldiers. Somehow, crossing the Himalayan mountain range and walking for about 15 days, Dalai Lama and his companions were able to reach the Indian border. During this time, when the people of Tibet heard no news of Dalai Lama, many people started assuming that perhaps Dalai Lama couldn't escape from the Chinese government. On the other hand, to avoid being seen by the Chinese soldiers, Dalai Lama and his companions used to walk during the night. Despite of darkness, he couldn't light a torch, and to escape the daylight, he was hiding inside the caves of some mountains. Or at times, he used to hide in some monastery. After reaching India, Dalai Lama found a small town in Himachal called Dharamshala and started staying there. And this city, Dharamshala, became the land of action for Dalai Lama and the exiled Tibet government. Along with Dalai Lama, 80,000 more Tibetans came to India. While staying here in India, Dalai Lama showed the sufferings and sorrows of Tibetans in front of the whole world, and also tried to preserve the culture of Tibet. Due to the efforts of the Dalai Lama, the United Nations had also raised these issues many times. Dalai Lama's efforts made the whole world understand the suffering and sorrow of the Tibetan people. For the independence of Tibet, Dalai Lama met many religious people of many countries and also many political people. After so much effort, the whole world understood the conspiracy laid by Chinese government. And in 1989, when Dalai Lama was awarded the World Peace Nobel Prize, after this, the Chinese government got even more angry on Dalai Lama. It was being not tolerated by Chinese government that the whole world is paying respect and reverence to the Dalai Lama. The entire world is liking his idol so much. In all this, China was getting all the criticism from all sides. While opposing the dictatorship of Chinese government, Dalai Lama also announced that when Tibet will be free, after that, the first thing that the people of Tibet should aim for, setting up an interim government. And the elected government would first draft a democratic constitution and conduct elections, and the Constituent Assembly should accept that democracy. And this is the only correct way of working of the government of a democratic country. After this, the Tibetan people will elect their own government. And after that, Dalai Lama will hand over all his political power to the new elected president of Tibet. He wanted nothing but only peace in his nation. In today's environment, it is very difficult to get such faith in one's mind for one's own motherland. Even today, at the age of 86 years, a person like Dalai Lama dares to confront the powerful and cunning government like China. Faith changes many forms, but in every form, its effect remains equally deep. And even we, like Dalai Lama, need to accept this new form of faith and learn to accept and love our own earth and its environment. In reality, in today's time, everyone needs to pay attention to the best of the environment and have faith in the nature. The story of Great people like Dalai Lama inspires everyone to keep their faith and contribute for their nation and environment. Thank you.